I'm really interested in what's going on in Germany right now. The AFD, the Alternative for Deutschland, we've talked about them previously in the past. Briefly. They are Germany's far-right party. So you have the left party, Die Linke, on the far left. Then you have the Social Democrats. Then you have the Free German Party, the FDP. Then you have the Greens. Then you have the CDU, which is like the conservative party, but like pretty like right center-right party. And then you have the AFD, the far right. Now, previously, the AFD was kind of like shoved off to the side. Nobody liked the AFD. The CDU, the center right, and the SPD, the center left, agreed that they're not going to work with the AFD under any circumstance. But there's cracks forming in that wall. Now, the CDU has said that the center right is willing to join the AFD in local elections to form majorities at the local level, in city elections. This is a crack in the wall that he's testing to see if he can get away with it. Because I believe genuinely that if they could, they would. But they know it's not politically acceptable yet, so they're just trying to test the waters, see what they can do. But there has been some movement over the last year and a half that's putting the AFD in a real difficult position. A German court ruled in 2022 that the far-right Alternative for Germany can be classified as a suspected threat to democracy, and this paves the way for domestic intelligence agencies to spy on the party. It not only does that, the AFD, it now is spreading it's laying the seeds for a possible ban of the party entirely. So during the post-war Constitution, the Domestic Intelligence Agency, called the Protection of the Constitution, it operates as this early warning system for when a democratic order is being overthrown. And this institution has the authority to ban political parties. They've done so in the past. They've banned the Communist Party in the 50s, and they've banned a neo-Nazi party in the 50s. Now they're looking, and they suggest that they might do so again. Okay, here is one political figure, Saskia Esken. They were a co-leader of Chancellor Scholof's Social Democratic Party, the center left.
I have to correct how you just said that. Chancellor Olaf Scholz. You said Chancellor Scholoff.
That's depressing.
You just mixed his two names.
And you know what? After all the great things I've said, he's going to make that into the clip.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They told the German press that if it was her view that the AFD had an anti-constitutional aim, and if it could be proved, the party should be banned. There were also some Christian Democrats that argued the party is a threat to democracy and should be banned as well. So this is causing, obviously, an outroar in the AFD. But I want to spread some awareness of how truly dangerous the AFD is from my perspective, okay? Correct my pronunciation of this. But in 2017, Thuringia...
I don't see where you are. Hopefully I can.
In bullet point that starts with in 2017.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Page what? I don't know.
Thuringia? I think you did pretty well.
All right. So in 2017, the regional leader of Thuringia, Bjorn Hawk, challenged Germany's remembrance culture. What does this mean? He called the Berlin site dedicated to honoring the millions of Jewish people killed in the Holocaust a monument of shame. Not only that, Hawk's book asked AFD members to guess. So then this is the next part, okay? In 2019, a public broadcaster took sentences from Hawk's book, and he asked other AFD members to guess if these quotes were coming from Hitler's Mein Kampf or Hawk's book, and they were consistently wrong and misquoting Hitler or assigning things to Hawk that Hitler said and vice versa. This is the type of guy we're dealing with here. He's also been caught using Nazi stormtrooper slogans. I don't know what more evidence you need.
I mean, again, I'm gonna play middleman.
Sure.
I think these could definitely be taken. I think the Nazi Stormtrooper slogan is the most damning one.
Yeah.
I mean, you can take a lot of phrases or sentences out of books.
Yes.
Right.
I'll go with you with that one. I think the
Holocaust one.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I don't because it is a monument of shame. I mean, if you walk through Berlin, I visited Berlin.
Yes.
It's littered with monuments of shame, and those are purposeful because they're tools to make sure that they don't even think to go down that path anymore. So the thing is, it's truthful. Of course, the sentiment here is that we shouldn't be so shameful about it,
right,
which is wrong.
Right.
But just as far as what we're specifically talking about here, I don't have a problem with that.
Right. Like saying that there are monuments of shame scattered around Berlin, that's true.
Yes.
But the context of it being so we need to take them down.
That's the
problem. That's the problem, right? So now I kind of want to get your opinion on this because I don't know where I am on it yet.
Okay.
Do you think the AFD should be banned? Because I don't know where I land yet. I don't know where I land.
Yes.
Yes, right?
Yes, I do.
Right?
I do.
I think you cannot give the neo-Nazis and the far right an inch because they will take a mile.
Well, yeah, and I think I'm saying this as someone I'm not informed enough. I am kind of assuming that they are essentially a party of neo-Nazis.
Yes.
I mean, I haven't dug into this.
Is everyone in the AFD a neo-Nazi? No. Is everyone who supports the AFD a neo-Nazi? No. Is every Trump supporter a fascist? No. But Trump's a fascist.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what's happening here.
Yeah. And we can't ban the Republican Party in the US. I think the fact that they can means, honestly, when I thought about this right after you just asked me, I'm like, what are going to be the effects? Well, I think the chances that serious unrest and economic and political and civil turmoil happen, I think the chances of that are much higher if the AFD is left to proliferate and spread propaganda throughout the German populace than if it is banned right now.
No, I agree
Even
with that.
though members, like current supporters, will be upset, like you need to stop this ball from rolling all the way down the mountain.
Right. Yeah. And look, the AFD is currently surging. They are now the second largest party in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
They have recently passed the Social Democrats and the Greens. The AFD is sitting at 21%. The Social Democrats are at 18%. The Greens are at 14%. The center right is up at the top at 26%. But the AFD being that high up is insane.
Yeah.
For a party that was only formed in 2013, they're seeing a massive spike in support right now. And Germany needs to address this.
It's shocking to me how low the left-leaning coalitions are.
The left-leaning coalition is like more like hardcore Soviet sympathetic.
Communist.
Yeah, like more hardcore communist.
Okay.
Yeah, the center, the left is very like communist, idealistic.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're also big supporters of Putin in Russia.
Okay.
So there's a lot of issues with that too.
Yeah, that's.
We're gonna get it. Maybe we'll get a bunch of Link supporters right now in the comments. They're gonna tell me I'm a shill and I'm wrong, but that's what I've seen.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
The one thing I think this prompts an interesting, more philosophical discussion. What exactly would the AFD be banned for? We're saying threat to democracy. I think that works.
I think that works great.
I think that's kind of how specific you need to keep it, because I compare it to other kind of polarization where I think about in America, right? If we had, say, we have a bunch of different parties, a coalition of them, say there's one specifically Trump aligned party that's only like 25%. It's not the entire Republican Party. And this Trump party they have a particular like campaign or platform point that is, we want Donald Trump to be dictator. Banning that is different.
Yes.
Like that is different than an entire Republican Party that's saying we think the Democrats are evil and we need to beat them in all the elections.
Yes.
Because then the Democrats are just as guilty as the Republicans. So it's interesting like where you draw that line, and protecting democracy seems like a very good point to put it.
Totally. I think like constitutions, specific, like liberal constitutions, need to have it in there that you need to be able to ban political parties once they are threatening an overthrow of the democratic order. You can take issue with the form of government. I'm okay with that, as long as you're trying to make it more democratic. If you're coming at it as you're an anti-democratic, trying to use the democratic framework to reverse the progress of democracy.
Yeah.
You can't be trusted with power, and you shouldn't be anywhere near it. One thing I want to talk about the AFD. Germany has a history of banning parties, not just in the 50s, but in the 1870s. Otto von Bismarck banned the Social Democratic Party, the SPD, the same SPD, in the 1870s. It did lead to them becoming more popular because they started operating underground. They actually used it as a sign of martyrdom, and they were able to use that as a selling point to get more people to join. I am worried that the AFD could do the same, but I am hopeful that the Germans trust their institutions enough that if their institutions came out and said, this party is a threat to democracy, they are a danger, we cannot let them anywhere near government. They will listen and they will understand.
I don't think so.
Well, I know Germany has one of the highest levels of institutional trust out of any European nation. So that gives me hope.
But I feel like the whole, a major tactic of these far right movements is undermining trust into the institutions. Right. And I mean, it just echoes too much of what happens when Trump gets indicted. They like him more.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm worried could happen in the AFD. If they ban him, they might become more popular. I don't know what the answer is, but
I think you're right. But I also think if they have this mechanism in Germany, just wait for them to pop up with another name and challenge democracy again and keep getting rid of them. Yeah.
I like that idea. Yeah. I think that we shouldn't play with these guys at all. They're not funny. It's nothing to mess around with. Their campaign posters are like hearts. And the right has learned. You know what I mean? The right isn't going to make the same mistakes it did last time. The fascism of the future will not look like the fascism of the 1930s.
No.
The fascism of the future will do their best to paint themselves in nail polish and lipstick and make you think that they're nice and sweet before they come out with the anti-Semitism in the camps. So please do not be fooled by the rebranding. They are the same. They will always be the same. You can't rebrand far-right populist nationalism. It is what it is. And that's why it's popular, unfortunately, but it needs to always be defeated. And if the Germans can ban it right away.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.